Hello everyone, I will be talking about Ruby Franke and how the social process theory reflects onto her. So the social process theory is the theory that your peers and the people that you put yourself around, you start to be influenced by their actions and the things that they're doing. So Ruby Franke, she was a famous influencer on YouTube who had a YouTube channel that she showed the life of her family and all of her kids and her husband. And she really went downhill, and there's actually many documentaries on this, but what happened was she started to put herself around this person named Jody Hildebrandt, who was the family's therapist. She came around to help with her kids because Ruby thought that her kids were starting to show signs of being deviant and not wanting to be in YouTube anymore, and the YouTube really influenced this because she was making a lot of money from YouTube, and to where she didn't have to have a job anymore. Her husband didn't have to have a job. They were living off of YouTube. So basically, Jody was there to help be a therapist for her kids and to help them not be so deviant anymore. But she was also using religion as a way to really reinforce the things that she was doing. She was saying that Ruby's kids were being possessed by the devil and had these demons in them, and they were being deviant because of these demons that they had in them. So I believe that Ruby was never like this in the first place. She loved her kids with all her heart. But then whenever she started putting herself more around Jody, she became very distant from her kids, very reactive and rude, and eventually she took two of her kids to Jody's house in the desert area of some state where it's deserty, but they were emaciated. They had marks around their wrists and ankles, duct tape on their ankles, no dehydrated. They hadn't had any food or water. They were malnourished, but it was basically a cleansing that Jody was doing of these kids, and Ruby was just letting it happen because she believed that it was working and that her kids would become less deviant and they didn't have these demons in them anymore. But eventually these kids escaped and they went to the neighbors and they told them what was happening. The cops were eventually called and it became a case. But I believe that Ruby, she was a really nice mom, a good mom in the beginning, but then YouTube and the amount of money she was making was really influencing that. And then she was being more strict to her kids and making them do YouTube all the time, but they really did not like it. So eventually they became deviant naturally because they were like, get the camera out of my face, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm sick of it. But she saw this deviance as something that was unnatural. Jody saw it as them having a demon or something wrong with them, and so then that led to the malnourishment and dehydration and the mistreatment of her kids, the abuse to her kids. And yeah, so I believe that the amount of money from YouTube was really influencing and reinforcing this, and her involvement with Jody really changed her for the worse. So yeah, that is it. Thank you.